What up, though? Welcome to the Airbit Free Game Producer Podcast. My name is Onrea, and as usual, I got the big homie, the super producer, the multi-platinum producer, Will Power in the building. What up, homeboy?
What it do?
Yo, man, we got a crazy environment right now, man. We are at the Bandwidth Studios A-Room, and if you can hear some stuff going on in the background, it's the block party about to kick off tonight, man. What's going on, Will, man? What's happening, man?
It's a crazy week. Of course, everybody knows it's A3C weekend out here in Atlanta, so it's already going live. It's going digital.
For sure.
We also doing the Bandwidth block party, man. So
we up in there big like
you already know, man. So like really, man, we just trying to have a good time, man. Take advantage of some of the festival activities, man. People being in town. We got a lot of artists in town, a lot of producers.
For sure. A
lot of industry cats came through this weekend, so I'm just trying to catch up while they're here, instead of having to go through the whole process of trying to bring people to Atlanta. We just, want to, do what we got to do. And I think it's just the last day of A3C, so we're not really in the way of other things going on.
Right.
But, we did a little private joint, man, a little 500 people.
Yeah.
RSVP type joint, you know what I'm saying?
My goodness.
On this half acre of land back here at Bandwidth Studios, you know how we do?
Nice. So by the time you see this video, it would have already done went down. You know what I'm saying? So check the social media, and see what's popping.
Yeah, we definitely got like film crews coming out tonight, man. A lot of people gonna be in the building. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
Dope, man. And right before we recorded this, we got a dope interview.
Crazy
man,
interview.
With Young Fyre, man.
Yeah.
And when I tell you it's motivation, you know what I'm saying? And it's good information. We talk about technical stuff for producing.
Yeah.
We talk about just the business of producing.
Yeah.
And then we get into some deep spiritual stuff too.
It's what the show is really about, man.
Yeah.
One thing, it's one thing for us to get the marquee named producers on the show, which is really important. But at the same time, man, I think that's what the whole purpose of the show is, to highlight those guys that you don't know about that are doing big shit.
Yeah.
And like, to me, Fyre is someone that I'm a real big fan of.
For sure.
And so, when I was able to lock this in, I was super excited because I know, that he goes way back to the T-Pain days. He goes back to fucking Tech N9ne. He worked
Wayne.
with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Fucking Sire. He did
Britney Spears.
Jaden Smith shit. Like, this dude crazy. And he's in the tech game, like just like you said, man. So at the end of the day, man, that's what this is all about, bro. So I'm super excited. This is like Sports Sunday for me right now.
For sure, man.
Going down.
So I think we should just stop messing around and get right into it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go.
Free Game Podcast, Airbit,
Yeah.
free gang.
Welcome back to the Free Game Producer Podcast. We got a very, very special guest in the building. You will know his music from like Jaden Smith, Will Smith, you know what I'm saying, Britney Spears, but he's got a deep discography. I'm talking about way back, Tech N9ne, T-Pain, Lil Wayne. We got Young Fyre in the building. How you doing, sir?
Yo, I'm doing blessed, brother. I appreciate that. That's a great intro. I need that everywhere I go. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I even left off names. You got a lot of names on that. Rick Ross, a lot of names on that production discography.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
And we were talking before we started recording. You've been around for so long, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Putting in work,
Yeah.
From like the Roc-Battle had this thing called the Roc-Battle.
Yeah.
And I remember when that went down, way back in the day, and you were like real young.
Oh, yeah.
Real young on there.
Oh, yeah.
Killing it.
17, 18. I was
That's
still
crazy.
living in Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm from Des Moines, Iowa.
Shout out to Des Moines, Iowa.
Wait, what's in Iowa, dog? Like, how did?
A whole lot of white people, man.
Yeah.
It's an interesting place to grow up, man. It's like 90% white.
Yeah.
Literally. 10% everything else. So it's a very interesting place to grow up. Not much to do. I mean, it's good for me because I was a creative and my mind was wild. And if I would have lived in like LA or New York, I probably would have been distracted.
Yeah.
So what were your musical influences growing up in Des Moines, Iowa? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Most of the music is pop, rock, country. But obviously my parents are still black, so we listen to all the R&B growing up. But nobody in my family really did music like that. It was like a very just regular house. I kind of just picked that up on my own. Like I just had a weird love for music, and I think my grandma got a keyboard in her house at like 10. When I was like 10, and it just like I just was drawn to it. I still suck at keyboard, by the way. I just love it.
Hey, man, listen, we are, same with me. Like people always ask, as a producer, what's your like main instrument? Truth is, man, I'm just a great programmer. Like I love music so much. I know how to get to the sounds that I want.
Absolutely.
And I really just use the keyboard as a tool. Even when I was younger and just kind of playing around on them types of things, it was like I know how to make it make sense, but if I had to do like if I had to play something for somebody like at church or something, nah, bro. Wrong guy.
I'm glad you brought that out because I think a lot of people feel a way about that if they can't really do that. I used to feel a way about it for sure. Like, you know, like you want to do it, but it's like it's such a different type of thing. Like, and if you don't, you can make yourself feel a way about it, but in reality, like you said, it's just a tool. And I think people got to minimize it just to that.
Absolutely, because I know one thing for sure: when we are listening to the music, nobody's there to see it anyway. It's a feeling. It's about
100%.
What were you able to accomplish emotionally with a person when it comes to music? So at the end of the day, you know, it's partly why like when we have the old school versus new school conversation sometimes with people, I'm always like, bro, these kids are killing it out here. They found a way to make this shit dope with the way they make shit dope. It's no different than us.
Listen, I don't even have conversations with those people. I'm not trying to get old, bro. Like, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that shit. Stop hating. It don't matter. It does not matter. Real shit, like, stop hating. It is just hate. You know, you just don't like the way it's being done. And I don't appreciate it. I'm cool. I love to see somebody winning. So,
absolutely.
Like, however you winning, that's dope. You're not out here killing people, doing weird stuff.
Right.
We making music. This is about fun. People forget that it's about fun. When we started, this was for fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't about money and even the technicality of things. Like I spent a good portion of my talk yesterday at A3C, which was nothing. It was supposed to be about mix, but I just can't not talk about real things when I'm on a mic. And it's like, you know, I really want producers to know that other producers' opinions is not as important as you really think
they are.
Good game.
Damn.
It's one of those things that we get caught up on big time. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially as you get better and get more senior to it, you start to care about things that may matter personally for the art, but they don't really matter to the end consumer. And I think it's a big problem. It's a big problem. Like,
it is a big problem.
Like, you'll look at your producer homies that's super dope, and you know, you'll be like, oh man, that's crazy. And then you'll look at these young kids and be like, man, that's whatever. But then when you look at the data, young kids blowing these crazy producers out,
bro.
So it's like, it's numbers. Like, you can be delusional if you like, but I'm not gonna be delusional. But we in this. This is a business, and you know, and I think how I'm able to be me in this game is understanding that what I do it for. I do it for fun. Right. So anything that I'm doing, whether it's a trap joint, R&B joint, pop joint for Britney Spears, Will Smith joint, whatever, it's always gonna be fun.
I wanted to talk to that, man, because you're definitely one of the most diverse producers that I know.
Thank you, bro.
You know, to know that I've seen you get all the way in the trap with Trinidad James, you know, and then also pull off records with like Kalani and stuff like that. It's like, that's a wide spectrum of like, you know, just ability. Does that come from like like how you study music?
Yes,
or is
absolutely. Absolutely. It's a big part of it because like, again, music is fun. Like, I couldn't even not do music if I didn't. It's just so, I can't not do it. You know, like, I'm always ingesting it. And since I'm from Iowa, I ingested everything. Like, I literally ingested everything, bro, from the 70s to the country to the hardcore. We got Slipknot. Like, I know Slipknot songs. I know, you know, like, it's crazy. That's why, you know, one of my first placements is Tech N9ne. That's my actual first placement is Tech N9ne. And
shout out to Tech N9ne.
Tech
N9ne, put a lot of
greatest,
on, man.
Bro, the greatest,
for sure.
The greatest.
Yeah,
super underserved. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he started me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, the diversity definitely came from just like listening to everything.
Yeah.
And I think for me also, the diversity is in respect, because I have a respect for everything. So when I'm listening to the music, I hate when someone tries to do something when you can almost feel the money in it. Like, they just they trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like, man,
money in it.
Man, I'm trying to get the money, man. You know, and it's fine. I get it, but like, for me to move, I gotta feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's a bigger conversation too. Like, I didn't do trap for a really long time in the traditional sense because I couldn't connect to it. Right. Like in a way that was
it felt forced, bro.
It felt forced.
Yeah.
It felt weird.
Right.
Like, I felt like a poser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just can't operate in that frequency. It really bothers me.
Yeah. I can connect with you on that. Like, you know, I have my own Southern style of production, but like, people want you to kind of do a certain thing.
Yeah.
I understand it. I know exactly how to do it. But until it's like what I want to do or what woke me up that morning, then it's just kind of like, I don't know. I'll be all right until I can
feel
figure
like,
it out.
Here's the thing. Besides the beat being dope and all the other stuff happening around the songs and all that, it's really your faith in the song. Yeah. Like, that's what we really talk about.
Yeah.
If you don't connect to it, you don't ever believe it's going to really win.
Come on, man.
You don't believe it's going to win. In your mind, if you posing, you feel posed. Like, I feel like
you know you posing, right?
So the whole time you waiting for somebody to catch you, basically. Like, if you had this weird feeling of just posing, so you can't really believe a record into like being a big record.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like the young kids do so well. They don't have that.
They don't have
that. They just doing them.
Yeah.
And then they just believe the hell that they're gonna win. If they get a win early, of course I'm gonna keep believing I'm winning. You know what I mean?
So how do you approach it when being that you're so diverse, meaning like you know exactly how to do trap music, you also know how to do rock music and other things. Let's just say a great opportunity comes across the table. Is it something that you normally sit with first before deciding to do it? Or, a lot, like we said, in some cases, a lot of producers are they're there for the check. So if the check is there, they're gonna do the job. Do you like to sit with it and
I think I haven't really been put in a situation, honestly, personally, that challenged my belief. I think I get approached in the way that
it's
that I
comfortable
put out
for you, right?
You know what I mean? So
like sought out in a sense.
Yeah, like it doesn't. It doesn't really happen the other way around.
Yeah.
But given that situation, I would just do me.
Yeah.
I feel like we gonna always do them because it's for the artist, and if they with me, then we gonna always do you because you're not gonna like it. We're not gonna do it.
That's
so,
right.
So I'll still do me though. But I'm gonna give them what they want. At the end of the day, like who cares? It's so egotistical. Like it's crazy. It's so crazy.
It is crazy.
It's so crazy, bro. You working for the artist.
That's right.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like I try to remove myself as much from the opinion. Like I know I gotta have a really strong opinion because I'm a producer, blah, blah, blah. But I'm looking at the artist. Like, how do you feel? Because they're also the biggest part of the belief of this song. They gotta take this to whole life. Like this is their life. Yeah. Life. Like I'm working with Trinidad really closely right now. So I've worked with a lot of artists like closely, but for this is my guy. We're doing a joint project, and this is my guy. Yeah. So like I'm paying attention, and you become these records as an artist. You know what I mean? Like you can't just like it. Like it makes so much sense why you don't get placements. Like they gotta love, bro. I gotta go out here. I gotta go perform this bitch. Yeah. I gotta go have my people put a whole staff to get the radio on this. I gotta get internet. I gotta do content for this. I gotta love this song, bro. I gotta hear it a million times. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of shit going on. Like, even for the producers, we just be so egotistical. We think that we got a hot beat, got a hot song. What the hell? Why ain't working, man?
Yeah, like, that's a strong message we try to push out here. Is you gotta be of service first. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's never gonna work if you're not there to serve the artist and make sure that they're getting what what they signed up for.
Absolutely.
To speak to the whole Trinidad thing, I've been fortunate enough to see you guys work, and I know what's coming. I'm just like, I will say right now, you have figured it out. And I've known Nick a long time. This is a good friend of mine, man, and we made some great music together. But he is definitely one of those artists where like, bro, you're going to have to get on his level to figure out what this is for it to be magical, because he's very magical. It's like it's going to happen. And bro, I see that in what you guys have done, because I've heard records, bro, that I can't wait for other people to hear. But it's just like,
that's love.
It's definitely a dope frequency, man. It's something,
I don't like to compare it to anything, but there's just it's such a crazy connection. I've literally worked with, like you said, so many people. Yeah. And I've always had a good, connection with everybody, but it's just a crazy. It's like if two bombs just met, like creatively, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like on the beat side, I can do anything, and on the writing side and artistry side, he can do anything.
Yeah, that's right.
So the album is like a musical buffet. It's crazy. Like it's just like we going everything, and everything is great, and everything is done with respect and love, because we two of the realest people.
The realest, bro.
You know what I mean?
This
like
is
really,
facts. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for real. Like he's man, and and that it's like it's dope when you find somebody that aligns with you on your principles. You know what I mean? As a man,
very important.
As a man, you know what I'm saying? Because it takes it a different level.
I wanted to speak to that, man, because I follow you online. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan of yours, by the way.
My
just
brother.
in case you don't know.
Likewise.
So but I'm really into the idea of like you're really into your family. You got a new son.
Yes, sir.
And you just have a good time online with it. And I noticed, I can tell through your social media that you unplug sometimes.
Oh, yes.
And you're just like, nah, I ain't doing all that. I'm doing this. This is
my boy 808 Tricks.
Yeah, man. So I just think that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I like that, man. I like the fact that you have balance. Is that something like you've earned over time or learned over time?
Absolutely, man. My son and my girl have taught me more than any of these sessions. Yeah. And even going into the sessions, like really getting into who I am. You know what I mean, and what matters to me. when you start to figure that out, that's when you really are really winning. When you figure out who the hell you are.
Come on,
for
man.
real. Like who you really are, because everybody's powerful. You just got to get into what that is, and you know, I feel like it takes time, and I think there is no answer to the when or how, but it's just like when it happens, recognizing that it happens, and then cultivating it as it's happening. Yeah, it's ultimately powerful, and I feel like it's not like I'm a different person today than I was 5 years ago or anything, but I literally feel like a whole new person, understanding myself better. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's good to know, man. Because a lot of producers are struggling with regular life and then studio life, you know. Yeah. Mental health, all kinds of things, bro. Bills, life, you know.
Hey, man, the elephant in the room, like I said, we in Atlanta right now, so it's a little cheaper, but I'm in LA. Yeah. And so shit is expensive, okay? Like, we just going to talk about that. It's another level.
Level.
Like, it's another level. Yeah. And so, like, one of the bigger things for producers and, like, what they don't understand, I mean, what they can't really talk about is the fluctuation of this income and then the steadiness of your outgoing. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that you just gotta. That's what makes me so serious about this. That's why I love LA, because LA puts you on your shit. Like Atlanta, it's so easy. I had a big ass house down here. I lived here for 4 years too, and I had a big ass house down here. It's so easy, bro. It's like this is like Iowa, but with cool people. Right. You know what I mean? Like, no shade to Iowa, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a bunch of cool, and it's like, first of all, let me get back to that. Hold on. Because when I moved to Atlanta, this is
culture shock.
Oh my God, bro. I just told, it was 90% white people in Iowa, bro.
Yeah. Oh wow. It's Atlanta? Oh yeah. Night and day. Yo. Flip it over.
But it probably was the most inspiring thing I ever seen in my life. Yeah. Like, I never seen in Iowa, the people of my hue do not have success, like not real success. You know what I mean?
I love Atlanta for that, man. I mean, it's a great platform to get your life in order. Yeah. I think it'll teach you real quick that you have a lot of ability and a lot of possibility. Yeah. So if you just get your shit together, you can easily do it. And this is a great place because they give you opportunities here. Yeah. And it's not like that everywhere. I mean, I've even been to LA and, you know, certain black people ain't gonna get certain things.
No, it's different. It's just a different vibe in LA. But you know, out here, I mean, my neighbors were all. I live in an affluent black neighborhood. That was crazy to me. Yeah, like my neighbors are mowing their lawn and shit. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Am I in fucking Pleasant? What is happening? But it was crazy. I promise you. I'm like, yo, but the LA is like just like a graduation. I feel like, to me, my career has been like a graduation. Yeah. You know, you go this. And I try to always elevate. I try to always elevate in some way. And sometimes it's behind the scenes. Sometimes it's more mental and like understanding myself. And then sometimes it's career shit. But LA was like that boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really gets you like, what's up? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing? Crazy. Yeah.
Man. So I want to kind of jump into another part of your career. Like, so just so you know, who put me on to you is Focus.
Oh, my brother, Focus.
Oh, my God. Focus put me on to you. So Focus was out here in Atlanta for a little while, a few years ago. And we used to go to his, he called it the Alien, something with his studio was some type of alien thing. And it was really dope. But he kept pulling up he was doing some shit to his tracks, man, where they were like slowing them down half speed and doing all this crazy stuff. Yeah. And he kept telling me about you. And that's when I started following you and started finding out that like you were really doing dope shit. And, you know,
the Fyre effect. Yeah.
The Fyre effect, yes, man, was the first thing, dude. Can you talk about that? Because like there's a whole nother side to you that I don't know if many people know it, but you're like in like music tech as well.
Yeah, music tech. That's the real baby.
Come on, talk to us, man, because this is. I want to learn about this. This is the part of it that I think all of the young producers should be striving for, is to find a way to expand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, going back to the income, you know, you gotta build some type of organization in your life as a creative, man. I think it's very important. And it's to your dismay not to do it. You know, we do it so long, we just get. You know, that's kind of the reason why I think we love it so much. Like being a big kid, you can do whatever you want whenever you want. Yeah. But when I started Audeo Box, you got to get in the system. Like if you want to expand a business, it's organization and systems. And so I'll take you to like when I actually started. I started Audeo Box in 2000. The idea of it in like 2016, 17. In 2015, I broke my hip on some really random crazy shit, and it took me out of the game for a good chunk of time. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have ever taken any time off, like where you can't do nothing music, and that shit is like torture. It's like prison. Like when you can't do nothing creative.
Right.
So my hip was out. I couldn't do nothing. Like I literally can't go to the bathroom by myself.
Right.
And had to find a way to be creative. And I had already been doing a bunch of multi-effects on my tracks. And what I wanted to do with the Fyre effect was create something that combined a couple of effects that I always used and made it really simple and ran really light, because also the plugins I was using was like heavy.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it. Figure out how to do it. And
that's dope.
I found a graphic designer that was crazy cold, and I found a really dope coder. Started talking to them, got them together, made the first plugin. I held it to myself for like a year and didn't even do anything. Like I just used it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I was like, I should probably sell this because this is dope. And I'm like, and I started to see it be a wave. I started seeing people use the kind of variation of what I was doing as being a wave. Let me sell it. So I started that, and then it just became a whole other thing. Like I started just selling that plugin, and then people loved it. And I'm like, okay, I got to make something else now. And so I started doing packs because I felt like I had all these loops sitting on my computer. What am I going to do with these? I don't use them.
Right.
And just put them together, start making packs.
Yeah. Well, I think, so I use Fyre Effect big time. You know what I'm saying? I put my whole team on it. So like, we're like, you know, you know how it is, man. When you're doing sound design and you're trying to create something really fresh and new, it's always good to have tools for it.
Yes.
Recently, though, you put this snare joint out.
Oh yeah.
Am I saying it right? Because it's
snare.
All right,
yeah, it's spelled weird.
Listen, bro.
Yeah, AudioBox, by the way, is spelled AUDEO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification, my man. Yeah.
So I just want to say, man, as a producer, these aren't just your run of the mill like lame plugins. Like they're like usable plugins. Like, the snare is kind of like a transient style joint. Listen, we've been putting it on snares. That's one thing, but we put it on kicks.
Yeah,
I put it on guitar before. I'm using this joint, yo.
Yeah.
Like just, it's crazy though. But
thank you.
I did want to give you props, man, because like one of the things for me with plugins is the visual aspect is really important.
Yeah.
Well, the snare joint, like every time you hit it, it lights up in the
actual head of the drum.
The head of the drum
moves.
wobbles and shit. It's really dope, bro. I wanted to give you props on that. I think that you definitely headed in the right, down the right path with that, because
thank you, man. Shout out to my brother Infinity. Me and him did that plugin together.
That's really dope.
That's my homie. Yeah,
that's really dope.
Yeah. No, the snare is the one. Like snare is beautiful, bro. Like it's like we're progressing towards something really dope. The next wave of plugins is gonna be crazy. We're doing stuff. I'm so glad what you said. It's about usability. Like it's about usability and being light. Like I want you to use them in all your sessions. Like right. I don't. This is again. We have enough of everything. Like there's everything already. Like so, if I'm gonna add to this, I want to add something unique that you want to use every day. I know how many plugins are. I know how many transient designers there are, but you have a choice. So I'm gonna make sure it's entertaining in that space. It's light.
Well, I just let the cat out the bag on my team. They was like, man, how you getting them snares popping? Mind your business, boy. Mind your business. Stop playing.
Share the wealth. I'm trying to change that narrative. I'm trying to be a sharer, man. This is why this podcast is so amazing. We sharing stuff like this.
We have snare wars in here though. So I got to win that, bro. They can't
compete, have little friendly competitions and all that stuff.
Oh, it goes down.
On these guys right here. Oh yeah. We going. I know you going crazy.
But yeah, that's really why I wanted to mention it though, because I do think that, if in any way our community could support what you're doing, I want people to be able to get these plugins. I think that the way it downloaded, the way you guys sent it, the business behind it, it was all legit. It was just like buying some shit from Native Instruments or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate that. I
appreciate you for real. Like that's real love, man.
Yeah.
It's audiobox.com.
Black excellence too.
Black owned, manager black. A couple of our sound designers are black.
That's dope.
It's like very conscious, very conscious of what's going on and trying to build something really dope. Everybody's really authentic on the team. Everybody really loves this shit. We do this shit.
I can tell.
My manager moved from New York to LA to support the business.
Wow.
Like it's really real. Like
dedication.
Like
so what's next for it? Are you guys getting ready to just design more
more plugins? We have one really crazy thing that we're working on that we're just keeping under wraps. But it's a game changer. It's a real game changer. And then beyond that, we're doing a lot more content, valuable content. Because again, anything we're gonna do it's gonna fill a space. It's not gonna disrespect art. We're not doing money grabs.
Yeah, for sure.
We're doing stuff
I'm glad for that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all love, but we trying to do it for real.
That's dope.
So the content that we're doing is high level. It's really dope. And we're just in partnership with people, like how we're going to distribute it. But we're building an incredible brand. It's more than sound packs and plugins. This is something that you never really seen before. You know what I mean? It's lifestyle type shit. It's gonna be a whole thing, for sure.
Well, we with it.
That's dope.
That's dope.
Now, speaking of, we were talking about your diversity a little bit earlier, and I know people who hear the podcast always think I say this every time, but it's true. When I research a producer, I always find a song. It's one of my favorites that I didn't know you did.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
What's this?
T-Pain.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me, I make a lot of playlists. And back in the day, back in like 2011, 2012, I would make CDs and just pass them out of my favorite songs that I like.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, and anybody that knows me know this particular song from T-Pain, so I think it was the RevolveR album, a song called I Don't Give a Fuck.
Hey.
One of my favorite songs.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like, go on with your friends. Like, that was one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
hey,
shit.
how I
You know,
do that again?
So no, I'm not gonna do it again. But thank you. I appreciate thank you for that. And I want to talk about, because I think you were working with Tech N9ne a lot, and then T-Pain. How was that transition? How did you go from
Yo, that story's crazy.
And the whole RevolveR, you did a lot of work. Even with it was a mixtape before then.
Pre-RevolveR.
You did the whole mixtape.
Yeah,
you know what
pre-RevolveR. If you want to hear some great music that never been heard, go hear pre-RevolveR.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard. I downloaded the mix.
I appreciate you.
I was locked in.
It's like it predates like some Trinidad vibe. We had a really good vibe when we first started working. So it was just creative freedom. You know what I'm saying? It was a mixtape, so we didn't have to do no label shit.
Yeah.
So it was just really fun.
But I Don't Give a Fuck was one of my favorite songs. And you did the one with E42, that Nothing song. Yeah. That was like...
Bro, I was so happy to get E40 on
Come
a beat,
on, man.
bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
From Iowa, bro? Like, that is, 40 water, bro.
Like that whole... Talk about that whole time in your life and producing and going from Tech N9ne to T-Pain.
Okay, so I'm from Iowa. So, getting into T-Pain and all that is really crazy.
Yeah.
I started out on this beat battling site called Roc-Battle. And I even how I got onto Roc-Battle was poetic in hindsight. I was over my homie's house, and all my homies they was smoking and drinking. I've always been a super straight edge, never drank, never smoked type shit. And so when I went over there, they smoking and drinking, doing what they do. This is at the point when I'm feeling like I'm about to stop fucking with these niggas because they just ain't about shit. Even though I love them, these are my guys, I love them, but they just ain't on the same shit.
Right.
And they had this magazine on the table, and it was at XXL. And I'm not really into magazines, but it was flipped open to an ad for Roc-Battle, a whole page ad. And I just looked. They had a beer can on it, and I'm like, let's move this shit out the way. Oh, this shit looks crazy. And it was like online. The internet was like baby. So like I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. Yeah. I went home that night, bro, made a profile. I started doing my research. And, I got real methodical about how I was going to win. It's crazy. That's my life. Like, I've always been pretty methodical. You know what I mean? Wow. Like, thinking about what I'm going to do. I really researched the site. I saw the top dudes.
Like, manifest.
Yeah. Not like real oh, no. Yeah. That's a whole nother. Like, we could really go there. But, like, what I saw what I could do to beat the system. I felt like I knew people that I needed to beat that would get me recognition on a site so that I could, climb the ladder, because it's a social ladder. It's all like social.
Didn't you beat Roc-Battle a couple times?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I beat him. I actually beat him every time, but they cheated me. Roc-Battle, you know it. Hey, Roc-Battle told me in person in New York. Listen, I do not tell a lie. He's like, man, you got me. You know I got you. Come on, bud. They couldn't let that happen. Even the administrators at the time told me, we couldn't let that happen. I won in votes. Yeah, and that they weighted. It's like 5 admins that have weighted votes. Yeah, and they all voted against me. So it just like I'm like, come on, the whole crowd. You can look at the comments. Niggas like, yo, it's crazy. Yo, y'all corny, but they gave me a little $500 prize. I was cool, whatever. But the more important thing was it branded me. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be forever grateful to Roc-Battle and everybody on that for that. Like, it really catapulted me and taking into this whole industry and taking it really serious. Yeah. So after I beat Roc-Battle, it really was a big deal for a lot of people because everybody saw what it was, and so I got a bunch of like internet stuff. Like I was on a bunch of sites for free and just like ambassador and stuff. And I got on this site called PNP Worldwide. I think it's called something else now.
I remember that.
But it was interesting.
Yeah.
But I got on there for free because they was using me to advertise their site as cool producers. And then I was making a bunch of independent money on there, which was dope. And then I linked with this guy. His name is leaving me right now. Someone money, but he was just a cool dude. Weird. I'm really weird about sending out beats. I don't know how y'all are about that.
Yeah.
But I was like really weird back then. I didn't want to send none out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kept asking me for beats, and I'm just like, I don't know. I never had done it also up to that point really like that. So eventually I gave in, sent him some beats. He's like, these are dope. I'm gonna play them to some people. A couple months go by. He hits me. He's like, yo, I played some shit for Young Cash. He want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, bet. This is dope. I'm in Iowa. Young Cash is dope.
Yeah.
And so Young Cash hits me on the phone. He's like, yo, man, you dope as shit, bro. You super dope. And this was actually on Skype. It was on Skype. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we were on Skype and he was sitting right there and we were just talking. I'm like, man, that's so dope. He's like, yo, man, you too dope though. I gotta pass you to my man, and my man's right here. And then T-Pain hops his happy ass in the camera, and I'm like, yo,
wow.
What's up, man? He's like, what's up, man? It's like super, whatever. And my mind was blown. You know what I mean? Like I'm 19 maybe at the time.
Wow.
And like, yeah, man, I want you to come out to Florida. Or he was in LA. He was in Miami recording shit. And so I flew down the next week, and it was insane, bro. I met everybody. I met everybody. I met Chris Brown. I met Lil Wayne.
That's a lot of good stuff. I want to hear all of that. We got to take a quick break. And then we'll come right back.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah. This week's Beat Break is brought to you by Airbit producer Panacho. Check him out on airbit.com. Panacho. The title of this beat is called Waterfall. Free Game Podcast. Yeah.
Airbit.com.
And welcome back to the Free Game Producer Podcast. I'm so hyped, man. I'm so hyped about learning, about all these crazy stories. So picking back up, you got on Skype with T-Pain, went down to Florida, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, I met everybody, man. I met Chris Brown. I met Lil Wayne and everybody on Cash Money. It was all at the Hit Factory. Yeah. And the Hit Factory at the time was going crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody was there. Timbaland was there. I played beats for Timbaland.
Wow.
Wow. It was crazy. I literally went from being in Iowa to that.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like it was the most explosive, craziest thing that could ever happen. So I learned a lot.
That's dope.
I was thrown into it because obviously I ain't been in no real studio. Ain't no real studios in Iowa. There's no real studio. So I ain't never vocal. I mean, I had vocal produced my homies, which was a good prep, but it wasn't the real deal. So I was thrown into everything.
So for all of our producers at home who have aspirations of getting these big placements and really getting put on, how did you navigate at that point in terms of like your business? Did you get a manager? Did you how did you start shopping your beats at that point? Like how did you get from there to where you are now?
I think everybody's path is very different, and especially mine. But at the time I did get a manager. It's my homie, just somebody I just knew.
Yeah.
And then I was around a lot of people. Like, so for me, it was just a little different. Like, I was with T-Pain. So, like, after that, it's, the standard is high. Like, so it wasn't the same thing as it would be today. Today is different. I manage myself now, though I've been managing myself for 7 years.
Yeah.
So manage myself, do everything myself. I run a whole company myself. You know what I mean? Like big boy shit. So that's all I really do now. And so it's really a big part of who I am now.
Yeah, I think management for me was really just to kind of help me navigate through the business at times when you just don't know what you're doing. Somebody to be like, maybe you should look at that type of guy. You know what I mean? Or or, you know what I'm saying?
You should look at that. That's
yeah. So I mean, and you learn over time. I mean, I made a bunch of mistakes with my manager, just as many with my managers I did without them. So it's just kind of like, I get that. I understand that you just kind of grow into your business.
Yeah, you definitely do. I don't think everybody needs a manager. Also, I think that's a misconception. For everything that I really, really accomplished, I accomplished, myself. When I really
I found out over years, a lot of times I just needed like an assistant, somebody just help me get shit
that's
done.
What you're like somebody that's gonna keep you efficient, and do the stuff that's time consuming, that you can't really focus on, that you're not you don't have your expertise at. Those are helpful people, yes, for sure.
Well, the reason why I asked that question was because obviously, you've been doing some real big things with like Jaden Smith, Will Smith. How did all that come about?
Now, that's a cool story also. So I actually met my mentor. His name is Omar Rambert, OG. Like he's probably one of the most legendary people you don't know.
Yeah.
And he's responsible for the creative with all the Smith stuff. Which is high level creativity.
Like, what is going on?
When I tell you he's one of the most creative people on the planet, it's no joke. He talks, I listen type shit. And I don't listen. I mean, not that I don't listen to anybody, but people,
You're right.
So when I met him in 2015, like right after I broke my hip, I had a random session with my girl Candace. Shout out to Candace, she's dope, super dope singer.
Yeah.
And
Play?
No,
okay, it don't matter. I just thought that's who it was.
It's
she's dope too.
My girl. But so we were having a session, and at the end of the session, this random dude comes up. He's like super excited to see me, and I don't, I'm really not that guy. Like I'm super kind of chill.
Yeah.
So he came, I'm like, yo, man, what's up? You fight? Oh my God, bro, you so dope. And I was like, yeah. Thank you. I didn't really know how to take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, I just didn't know how to take it because it was a lot. Now I'm done with the session. I'm ready to go. And he's like, bro, Jado told me about you. Then I was like, oh, okay, that's my bro, Jado. Okay, we good. He's like, man, Jado been playing me some shit, bro. You crazy. I got somebody I need to introduce you to. And he was so emphatic about this. And, it was like he knew the future. Like, it was crazy.
Wow.
And we only met each other that day. Like, and we had a great connection that day, but there was no way for him to, I don't know how he knew.
Yeah.
But he was just like, and he knows hella people. Like he's the man, by the way. He's a writer. He wrote a bunch of Iggy Azalea stuff, a bunch of other stuff. He's an artist. He was in a group called Fly Panda, all kinds of wild shit. He's a dope artist now and doing wild shit. So he's a crazy person and he knows hella people. But for him to connect me directly with Omar was just a weird, crazy coincidence.
Yeah.
He was like, you need to meet him, bro. He fucks with the Smiths and all that. Y'all niggas are gonna go crazy. And I was like, all right, bet, set it up. Man, it's LA though, people be talking, so I don't really know.
Of course. Yeah.
And he hits me probably a couple days later, and he's like, yo, come to the studio. It's the Boom Boom Room, which is literally like 3 blocks from my house at the time. I'm right in the middle of North Hollywood. And I pull up, and I see, I'm on crutches, like which is the worst thing ever. Yeah. I don't know if y'all ever did crutches, like where you really need crutches.
Yeah,
it's the most demasculating thing in life, bro. You can't do nothing. You can't pee. You can't poop. You can't get out the car.
Right.
You can't look cool doing nothing. That shit is trash. Yeah. And nobody knows. You just look at a guy on crutches and you don't know his life. Right. Okay. You don't. He going through it, bro. Mentally,
you're still pressing through though. You're still showing up.
Yeah, but you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do what you got to do, bro. Yeah. I'm not finna sit at the crib with Omar at the studio. I'm going. So I got my fly on, put my little crutches on. You know what I'm saying? And went and pull up and his vibe was super chill. He's one of those guys that don't give no reaction. Yeah. None. You know what I'm saying? Like when you don't know what's happening. So he's like, yo, what's up, man? Cool vibe. The whole studio's all vibed out. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I start playing joints. After a while, he couldn't contain his reaction.
Yeah, he's like,
damn, this nigga's nice. You could just see it on his face. Like, whoa, shit. You know, like, damn. And it was just a really, really, really dope moment. And I look back, I'm like, whew, okay, he fucks with it. All right, he fucks with it. We're good to go. Yeah. And then after maybe like 4 joints, Jaden just runs in the room. And I shit you not, like 2 weeks before this, I'm talking with my girl on the bed. We had seen Jaden and Willow doing this thing at one of the festivals with Just Water and some like some really cool like hippie shit. And I was like, man, I really fuck with the Smiths.
Yeah.
Like back to your point about the manifestation, bro. Like my whole life is a manifestation, bro. I promise you. And in that moment, but it was like, it was wild, bro. Like I looked at this nigga and I'm like, 2 weeks ago, I'm sitting on the bed with my girl, like, man, I really fuck with him. I want to meet him. And I just want to meet him. Like, it wasn't even like I want to do no music. I didn't really know, like, his music like that, honestly. I just thought he was fire. I'm like, yo, I fuck with what he's doing.
Right.
And 2 weeks, probably one of the fastest manifestations I ever seen. And it's so far of a stretch from where I was.
Right.
And I just was blown away. He walked in with the craziest energy. And I was in the middle of playing the beat, so he literally runs in and he's like, yeah. Just doing young nigga shit, and I'm like, oh, this is incredible. And so he's fucking with it. He's like, who is this guy? And I'm like, introduce myself and my crutches, and it's just a crazy vibe. And he took one of the beats I played, went to another studio, started recording. He was in there for like maybe 10 minutes. It was just wild. It was just wild. All this has happened by me doing, and what the core of this is I did a session with my homegirl, because that's my girl. Like, she's at a label in this weird situation, and like, it's one of those things where people don't usually do sessions with these kind of artists, because they always feel like, niggas be on the money grab. So they're like, oh, I'm not gonna take that session because I don't know where she's going or whatever. But this is my dog. Like, I love her. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this session. And I was busy as hell at the time, but I'm like, I'm always do a session for Ken. Mm-hmm. Pulled up. Thank God I did that session. Changed my whole life.
Changed your life.
She don't even know that, by the way. She gonna find out when she see this, but it's like, she didn't even know that. She didn't even know. Yo, sound man going crazy. That's wild. Yo, yeah, it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful, and that's changed my life more than anything, because I never had a mentor coming out of Iowa, bro. I've been fending myself the whole time. Like, I ain't never know, even my managers in New York. So even when I'm in LA, I ain't, it's just me. In Atlanta and stuff, it's just me. Yeah. So I never had nobody to pull off if I'm making good decisions, bad decisions, really none of that. Right. And he the first person that came through and was like teaching me about how to build my family, how to really focus on the things that matter, and artists that I really, really, really rock with, rather than just doing all this stuff. Right. You know what I mean? And kind of like, I work so efficiently now. Everything I'm working on is shit that's coming out. Yeah. I'm not doing no fucking random songs for people that you know what I'm saying? Like, it refined the way I work, and it brought joy back into what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Not that it wasn't there, but it's fading. Doing it for this long, it gets annoying when you don't have as much control over what is happening. You can make the hottest beat in the world, but shit, that don't matter. This shit is a whole culmination of things that has to go right for you to get a placement. Right.
That's a place that a lot of producers, I'm sure, will want to get to, where they can kind of do the work that they want to do.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just trying to survive out here.
Yeah, that's the dream. I mean, to me, that's what this is all about. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything after this is a bonus. I got a good family. I'm making good money, and I'm doing what I love. Like, for real. What I love. Not just doing music.
That's what it's about.
Free gang.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times people just, the money overshadows everything. And it's like, really, it's just money, man. Like, it is what it is. It's got great.
I'm not going to devalue money, because I do love money.
Yeah, no, we all do.
But here's the thing. When you're doing what you love, money is a byproduct.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, bro.
Right.
Like, you don't even have to chase it, bro.
And
just be good.
Be good. That's kind of the point I'm on. Yep. It's like, I realize that when I just relax and just do it with flows, and what happens, the next thing you know, you start getting these bags, and they coming from places that you wouldn't even expect them to come from. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Random. Yeah. Always. And, you just got to do what you love, bro. When you do what you love, it just starts, you're like a magnet, I promise, bro. It just start happening.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's dope. So what would be the biggest piece of advice you would give to somebody who's trying to get to that point, that maybe they are doing things that they're not too crazy about because they got to pay their bills, and they're trying to get to that point? What would be the, one major thing to kind of help you turn that corner to get to get there?
I don't know. It's a lot of things. It's really hard to give one point, and I really don't like the idea of advice, even though I give advice all the time. because life is so subjective. You know what I mean?
Everything
is so situational. It's so situational because I could give somebody terrible advice, but depending on their position, it could be great advice for somebody else.
That's right.
That's true. So my thing is always figuring out like who you are and figuring out what you really love. I think that's the goal. You know, who you are. Like, who am I? Who the hell am I in a world where they're constantly trying to tell you who you are?
That's important. We don't have those conversations with ourselves.
No, especially as creatives. You know, we keep a lot of stuff in. We don't talk about nothing. But you know, all the social media is trying to tell you who to be. Man. All the TV is telling you who to be. All your friends is telling you who to be. You don't. I know people don't meditate. I've been meditating for almost 11 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. We had a stigma in the community that meditation is weird. I had a conversation with an artist that I won't name, but he tried meditation one time and was like, "Man, that shit's stupid." And I'm just like, man, we gotta change. We gotta do better. Yeah. We gotta do better. Yeah. You know, like meditation is the only break your mind will ever get. Your mind work when it's sleep, it's dreaming, it's doing all kind of shit. When you meditate, bro, it's like you put the weights down. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not thinking about shit. I'm not stressing about anything. I'm here. I'm in this moment. I'm not.
Yeah, I need to practice that.
I was ready to say go on the hard.
Yo, man, because seriously, like
it's life changing.
My issue that I've always had with meditating is I could never get the voices to be quiet. I could never.
It takes time, bro. It takes time, and you can't you got to give it time. You got to give it time. And the thing is, it's not even about getting the voices quiet at first. What it's about is realizing what the voices are saying. You know what I'm saying? What's going on back there? Because that's what's really going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Like what you won't talk about to your friends. And what's really bothering you. It's back there. And when you sit still, that's why people don't like it. Because you got to confront your demons. You got to confront your demons. They right there. And they in the back of your mind all the time.
That's right.
Like imagine a computer running a baby virus all the time behind it, just slowing it down. That's basically what's happening. So you cleaning out your system every time you sit down to meditate, like just addressing your issues, seeing them. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing them. Like look at it. So you understand, because you can identify. Once you can identify the problem, you can begin to solve it.
Working on it. Yeah.
You can't solve it if you don't see it. It's just back there chilling. You know what I'm saying? So I listen. It's imperative for me. I'm a very creative person. My brain does not stop. If I do not meditate, I will implode. I have to. You know what I mean?
Well, I got what I needed from this conversation just now.
That's worth everything. What you said.
I appreciate
that's
that.
Real,
it's love, man. It's not weird. It's gonna be tough for sure. But you gotta understand there's no wrong way to do it. I gotta talk about it right, because people have a bad misconception. You think you're doing it wrong because you can't shut your mind up. Man, it's like the art of meditation is you see the thought, recognize the thought, let it go. See the thought, recognize the thought. Getting back to center, you know what I'm saying? Like the art of meditation is seeing the thought and realizing that you're thinking, like realizing that, oh shit, let me chill, get back to center. Just seeing it, pulling back. That's like an exercise, like a pull up, you know what I'm saying? Like see the thought, let it go. See the thought, let it go. Man, people be having like childhood shit they ain't never addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm an advocate for counseling and all that stuff too, but like you can help yourself a lot just by stop bullshitting and address the things. Get to it. You know what I mean? It's a big thing.
Seriously, we had a lot of good stuff in this interview, but that might be one of the most impactful things right there.
Oh man, listen, it's changed my whole life. And you know, when I broke my hip, bro, it saved me. I could have been to depression. Yeah, for sure. I couldn't do shit, bro.
You can't move. You can't get around.
I can't do nothing, bro. I had to ask my girl to help me go pee, bro. I had to ask my
panic
girl.
Mode for me, bro.
Yo, like it's you know, bro. You know, man. As a man, alpha man, bro. It is really crazy. Yeah. So, you know, meditation really helped get me through that entire thing. I couldn't have made it, bro. It was way too down. Like it was just sad. And then meditation like helped me deal with it. I got addicted to meditation.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Well, let's let everybody know where they can, find you at. Anything you want them to go look at, any websites, any pages.
Well, definitely go to audiobox.com, AUDEO Definitely check me out at Young Fyre, FYRE on Instagram and Twitter and everything, Facebook, all that. If you on Facebook, I'm gonna get on TikTok too. Gary Vee tells me I need to be on TikTok.
Yeah, you do. So formerly musically, but now it's called TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. I'm gonna get on there, start doing my, whatever that is. Yeah, but it's gonna be Young Fyre on there too.
That's dope.
So yeah.
Well, man, I want to thank you personally, man, for coming on the show.
Yeah, of course, brother.
You've been here to the spot a few times, man. Yeah. We met, shook hands, man. I just, I wanted to just kind of let you know, man, how serious we are about this. And, you coming here and talking is real important. Thank you very much.
So much love, bro. I appreciate what you're doing for the community. This is the most necessary thing in our community right now.
Yes, sir.
And you're doing it in the right way.
Yes, sir.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm grateful.
Well, come back, man, once you get some more things turning.
Once that Trinidad James project come out.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about the projects right quick. What can we be looking for right now?
Oh, yeah. So me and Trinidad, thank you. We just put out a song called Playlist, which is a jam. I'm in there, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing too with my boy. And so we got a joint project we working on. The title we keep in tuck, but we got a project we dropping next year, top of next year. We got another song called Ugly coming out right before Halloween. The video's incredible.
Nice.
And we got some surprise coming performances and a couple of really cool things and content pieces with that too. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
There it is.
Free Game Podcast.
Free Game.
Yo, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Free Game Podcast. If you did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe to the Airbit channel right below. Just hit subscribe on the button below. Or you can go to youtube.com/Airbit. You know what I'm saying? If you're feeling the podcast, make sure you share it. Let your friends know. Also, there's an audio version of the podcast. Look in the notes below and you'll see where to subscribe to that at.
Yeah.
Free Game Podcast.
Free Game.